This is probably the most important video I've done on this channel up until this moment. Here's the thing, man. A lot of times I never know when I'm going to shoot a video. This is a completely unscripted video. And a lot of times I'll read something online, or I'll see somebody's post, or my wife will tell me a story, or something will happen, and I'll just get inspired. Look, here's the reality. A lot of us musicians, rely on mailbox money, session work, jingles, song demos, all of these different ways that you can make supplemental income. This is not playing gigs. This is, these are checks that you would get in the mail. And, every quarter I get a little check from BMI for the songs that I played on or helped write that, are getting TV and film work, right? This is something that's been going on for a long time. In fact, I have one friend, and I'm not going to mention his name here, but if he happens to watch this channel, he'll probably know I'm talking about him. He's got thousands of placements. I'm just guessing. He has to have, because he's always constantly producing music and submitting it to these companies that get stuff placed in film and TV. But we're in a new world now. We are now in the AI world. And I have tried, I think there's a lot older musicians. There's a lot of us older musicians out there that don't know what's going on, that have no idea. I try to keep up with the latest news. I try to keep up with the latest tech. I don't want to be left behind musically or sonically or anything else. But man, and it is impossible to keep up with all of the technology. But I have been a person with this channel who has told you what the future entails. And, and this will apply even to what I'm doing now, being a talking head on YouTube. Essentially, I'm not needed to do this. They can input a script into a program, and boom, they'll have some guy, and they could have a long-haired dude, or they can have some, beautiful woman or whatever reading a script. And, I'm not needed to even do this. But here's the deal. This is unscripted. This is me telling you the truth. This is me telling you the future. Now, perhaps if this person sees this YouTube video and wants to come on the channel, I'm going to give an open invitation. But for now, I'm not going to reveal this person's name. But I just saw a post on Facebook, right? And essentially, this person who is a singer, who is a professional singer in Nashville, probably plays live gigs, probably sings on people's demos, all the things that you do as a professional in Nashville. And they just got an email from one of the custom songwriting companies that they work for. And the email says they are no longer working with actual human songwriters. They're only creating songs using AI for their clients. And they want to pay this person $10 to use their voice. So essentially, so in other words, if a client likes the sound of her voice, they will no longer need her to actually record the vocals. They will just use an AI model of her voice and pay $10 to use it. Now, this is mind-blowing. This is where we're at. And I've been trying to warn people. I've been trying to warn the songwriters. I've been trying to warn the session musicians. I'm trying to warn everybody. And, the people that I recorded and wrote music for film, you know what? I'm not needed for that. Now, I've wondered because in the last probably 6 to 8 months, maybe even a little bit longer than that, and I used to do a fair amount of online sessions, but that has seemingly gone to zero. Maybe the people that I worked for, maybe they're using somebody else, or maybe it's easier for them to type in a prompt, cross their fingers and get a product out without having to pay 3 or 4 musicians to play on a song. They don't have to pay a songwriter. They don't have to pay a session musician. And now the only person that's probably going to get paid, because they're not going to pay me to model my guitar style. No, that'll just be a generic thing. But they want to pay a singer $10 to use their voice. So in other words, and here's the thing, man, in some ways you could say this company is being ethical in offering to pay this person $10 for their voice, for the sound and timbre of their voice. But the reality is this, man. Once they have your voice modeled, once they have that sound in their system, you know what? Who's to say that, all of these companies are going to pay you for it? This is a very slippery slope, and I'm afraid that things have already slid. The Pandora's box of AI has been opened, and you can see this, that artists aren't needed to create a logo. Artists aren't needed to draw a picture. Artists aren't needed to design a t-shirt. And now artists, studio musicians, vocalists, bass players, drummers, all of those things, and songwriters are not needed to write songs. Now, here is a company that's probably, making good money doing this. And now they figured we can make even more money by not paying musicians, not using real human songwriters. They'll just create songs using AI for their clients. The only person they're offering to pay is to use someone's voice. Now, and it says, the message that came out, how this affects you. We will no longer be contracting artists to record custom songs. So they're not going to hire you to record songs anymore. And if you wish to remain on the team of this company, they will synthesize your voice, and you will be paid $10 each time a customer selects your voice for their custom songs. You won't have to do anything except the initial setup. Okay, here's the thing, man. As an artist, as a creative person, part of what I love to do and would still love to do today is actually go and create music in a studio. Now, this is not something that I'm doing currently. I'm not even playing live now currently. And with the way things are going now, maybe live music is the only thing we have left. Now, these companies, and I knew this was coming, right? Like the companies, and I'm not going to name names of any companies. I'm not going to name the name of the company that's doing this. But man, here's the thing. They can own everything now. The company that can get these songs placed in films and stuff like that, they used to have to pay you a cut as the songwriter. And that's why I would get a check every quarter. That is why I would wake up one day and think I was broke and turn on my bank account and said, oh, all of a sudden I got this BMI money. And look, it was never thousands of dollars. We're talking about, $200 or $300 on a good month. But I have a feeling that those days of that money coming in, even though a lot of the songs that I wrote with my friend that got placed, they're getting used and recycled a lot, because what we wrote was essentially what we called sports rock, right? Sort of Van Halen-esque rockin' stuff with cool riffs and stuff that would sound good with in between, commercial breaks in a sporting event. That kind of stuff. The stuff, red-blooded, red meat eating, rock and roll riffs that would sound good, in a sports broadcast. But man, I'm not needed to write that kind of stuff anymore. In the past, when my friend would call me to write, so he goes, hey, I want to get together and write some more sports rock. Okay. I mean, that was the easiest thing in the world for me to do as a real person, was do that kind of music. And we wrote some cool stuff. And a lot of times we'd go, okay, let's do something with an AC/DC vibe, or this one's a Hendrix vibe, or this one's this. And we would capture the vibe of big name artists, but it would be me creating the guitar parts in the style of Van Halen or in the style of Jimi Hendrix or whatever. But now you don't need somebody that's been playing guitar for 30 years and knows how to, capture these different stylistically things. Now they're just going to create it with AI, and the company is going to own. This is what's, if it's not already happening to the work that you have, this is what is going to happen all across the board. This is going to be happening everywhere. It is coming for your jobs. And look, if you're in a regular, if you've got a regular 9 to 5 and you don't do music full time, you think, oh, well, you should have gotten a regular job, bro. It's coming for everything. It's not just musicians. It's not just artists. It's not just creatives. Do you think AI is not going to be able to answer the phone and answer a basic question with a pleasing voice? It absolutely will be able to do it. You don't think AI is going to be able to make sales calls and sell products or sell insurance or any number of things? It's all going to be able to do that. And once they pair that up with robotics, man, we're just not going to be needed anymore. So here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. If you don't realize this is coming, man, do a little research. Go check out some of these programs where you can put in a prompt and it spits out a song in 2 minutes. What would take me an entire afternoon and then, a mixing session and all this other stuff to do a track, it takes like a minute. It takes like 2 minutes to spit out all the stems, bass, drums, vocals, all this stuff, man. And these companies will be able to own all of it, right? So some of the companies are going to become huge, and then there'll be the little guys maybe also using AI and spitting out stuff. You don't need any talent to be able to do that. In the past, if my friend wanted to do sports rock, he would call me. If there were certain genres that he knew I had done in the past, I would get the call and I would be the guy to go do it. And now that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen for this person who is a singer and wants, enjoys, because here's the thing, man. We all enjoy to work. I enjoy working. I enjoy creating. It's something that I have to do every day. Now I'm channeling it here on YouTube. But man, I've even seen where YouTube is saying, hey, we're going to do some new AI modeling and let us know if we can use your content to model, your voice and stuff like that. Don't think that down the road, they're not going to have talking heads on YouTube reading scripts that look like you and me, that look like every creator out there. And as it gets more realistic, look, there's already a mass amount of people who listen to robotic, processed, garbage music every day. And they're not going to know the difference between AI music and real music. It's already a line that's pretty blurred at this point. Man, if you're a creative and you enjoy creating music and you make your living by doing it, man, you need to wake up quick and realize that this is already here. They're already coming for your jobs. They're already coming for your gigs. And what was an impossible thing to do to make a living at in the past, well, it's going to be even harder. It's going to be even harder to survive. That mailbox money that we'd get in the box and go, oh man, really cool. I got a check for this thing I did, 2 years ago. That's all going to be gone. There is no more. The mailbox money is going to be gone. So the only way you can make a living is going and playing for, the drunks in a bar. And you know what? Don't be surprised if someday they try to get rid of that. What if they, I've already heard them talking about, noise restrictions and all this kind of stuff. It can be all legislated and swept under the rug and everybody wipe their hands of it. Gone. Everything that you know and love about creating music, being a creative person, writing, recording, all the things. I think that's the pinnacle of being a musician, is being in a studio and being creative and capturing a moment in time. It could all be gone.